Okay, so I'm pretty sure. So you all might have some experience about the agile process or something. Okay, so before I start, so I request someone can give something about agile. Any volunteers who can do that? So what is an agile? Why should I go for agile? So because you might have planned something for your project, right? So sprint one, so all these things. So what is agile? Come on, any volunteers?
So basically creating a self-sufficient team and developing the application in iterations, like in a fixed amount of iterations, you keep meeting and you keep evaluating, and then in that way.
Okay, so that is actually the process followed in Agile, right? So you are right, Vishnu. So that is actually a general process. So why I need Agile, and why should I go for a team like which a team which consists of all kind of people? So what is the necessity for moving towards or migrating towards Agile? Any idea? Think out of the box. You forget about the subject. Think out of the box. Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, so in your maybe in your past semester or something, you might have done some project. Okay, so for example, let us take DBMS. So in DBMS, there will be some requirements given to you. Okay, so that may be in a form of a question. So you will reach a goal towards it, right? So that is how you might have done. In the same scenario, okay, if I ask you to build an application, okay, so at that time what will you do? So you will try to make the several parts of the applications in your own aspects, right? A single person will be involving where he will be trying to build all the components of a specific software or maybe an application. Okay, so based on the requirement. Okay, so in our case maybe a question. Okay, so that's how you have practiced. Okay, so here, so something different in this subject, we have a team. Okay, so in each team you have different set of people. Okay, it is not about so all the persons are doing all the functionality. Instead we have set of people. Okay, so that is how a team is formed in Agile. Okay, so that team can be called as a cross functional team. Okay, I will tell you basic difference between, so why we should move towards Agile. Okay, so because students, one thing I wish to make it very clear. So wherever you want Agile, so anyway all the contents were there in the slide. So anyway you also have the same slides with you. Okay, so I'm going to give you practical exposure. So why we are moving towards Agile, and mostly use cases we will discuss. Okay. Okay, fine. So in olden days, okay, so in olden days, in the sense maybe before Agile. So what happened? We have several process models. So already we have discussed like waterfall, okay, like incremental models or iterative models or evolutionary models. All these things we have discussed. Okay, so what in all those models, so there is one generic functionality. Okay, so where you can see there will be a phase. In that phase there will be a set of people who will do the same task. Okay, so for example, so in requirements gathering phase, okay, so what, there may be some 5 or 6 people in that phase. So all the 6 people will be concentrating only on gathering the requirements. Okay, so similarly in the design phase, take an example. In the design phase there will be a set of people. Okay, so all the people will concentrate only to design an application. Okay,
Yeah,
so that, yeah, any doubts?
yeah.
Hitesh, kindly go on mute if you don't have any doubts. Okay, so that is how we form teams in all these process. Okay, so you will have a process. Okay, maybe a step by step process or maybe a spiral kind of process. You will have a process where you will have a set of people. So that set of people will do a specific task. Okay, so the main difference from that in Agile is you will have a cross functional team. So which means that, so you will have a developer with you, you will have a tester with you, you will have a team lead kind of a role. Okay, so all these people will put together and they will form a team which can be called as a cross functional team. Okay, so that keyword is very, very important. You can see this in real world. Okay, so if you are going for a startup, if you want to develop an application for a startup or maybe a use case, okay, so what will you do? So practically, okay, so I have the potential to develop applications. Okay, I will be a developer. So people, you maybe your friend, you will say, okay, so since you are good in testing, so you be a tester for me. Okay, so usually, so a set of friends will form a team. So that is actually the cross functional team. Okay, and they will form a use case or maybe an application. Okay, so that is like a startup. Okay, so the same thing you will follow in your organization itself. For each project, they will follow the same set of activities. Okay, so that is the main motto towards the migration towards your agile process. Is that clear? So why we are moving towards agile? Is that clear for everyone? Can I have one? Yes. Yeah, fine.
Yes.
So yeah, that is the main motive behind the agile migration. So now you may have a question. So whenever there is a process coming into the market, so always there will be some people who will not accept it. Okay, and always there will be some people who will always want the updated version in the market, right? So even if you have an iPhone 10, if there is a new series coming in, so obviously immediately you will plan for, okay, I will try to buy a new one. Okay, so that is one kind of people. And there is another people who will say, I already have one mobile, so it is working fine, I can talk, I can chat, I can see videos, everything is fine. Once if there is any trouble in the current process, maybe I will buy a new one. Okay, so that is another type of people. So where comes this second scenario? So who will adopt this agile methodology and who will not? Okay, so that you should know. So for example, so agile, so if you ask me a question, sir, is it, so can we apply agile in all the scenarios? Okay, so in that context, the answer may not be yes. Okay, so all the process, can we follow agile? Okay, so the answer is not 100% yes, probably you can say yes. Okay, so now coming to the point, so who will move towards agile? So as I already mentioned, if you have an idea, okay, so I will give you a practical idea. So I am pretty sure most of you might have used Zomato application, right? So initially, so any idea about how Zomato was maybe 2-3 years back? Anyone?
It used to give restaurant reviews and help booking tables for reserving tables and everything.
Yeah, so
Before it was
even,
a food delivery app.
yes, exactly. You're right. So even booking table was actually the revised version. So initially it was supposed to be just a platform where you can see food reviews. Okay, and you can see the number of available restaurants in a particular locality. Okay, so that is the motto behind that particular startup. Okay, consider that. Okay, so if Zomato is having a model other than agile, okay, so what might have happened? So if they might have if they follow the waterfall model, okay, so what waterfall or any other classical models, if they had a mindset to follow that, okay, so they will be having a strict requirements. Okay, so on based on the requirements, they will be developing an application. So once they are developing an application, so at that time, so probably there may be so many competitors who can develop either an application of a same stream or maybe with the advanced features also. Okay, so at that time, if you want to sustain in the market, you should be able to invite changes. Okay, so this is an important keyword when it comes to agile. So you should be always you should always say yes if you come across any change to the system. Okay, so that is the main motto behind agile. Okay, you should say yes. If there is a change that needs to be done either from a customer or maybe the product owner or maybe from someone, okay, if they impose some change to your system, you should always accept it. Okay, so that is the main motto of Agile. So initially Zomato was just okay, so just a platform where you can see reviews of food or other things, restaurants. Okay, so at the time there were some platforms like Swiggy or maybe Uber Eats, so they were trying food delivery model. So immediately their business plan got changed. Okay, so they are welcoming changes. Okay, so if I have only reviews, probably I cannot survive in the market. So immediately they plan to have some other add-on features, additional features. Okay, so when you say additional features, so this becomes the releases. Okay, in first release they had some features, second release they had some features, third release they will have some feature, fourth release. So like that you will have a sequence of releases. In each releases they have or they had added some functionalities to the applications. Okay, so in this stage, so probably you may have a doubt, so who will add all these changes? Okay, as I already mentioned, so in Agile you will have a cross functional team, so which means that every people will work together towards an objective of producing the next release. Is that clear? So you will have a set of people, you will have the developer with you, you will have a product owner with you, you will have the person who collected the change requirement with you. Okay, and you will have the testers also. So all the people will try to formulate something with a goal that they need to come with the next release. Okay, so that should be their goal. This is how the Agile system works. Okay, is that clear? Shall we move on to the theory?
Sir?
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, in this example that you told where new features should be added,
Yes.
isn't spiral model also fine for that? Like in spiral model also, it's easy to add more features. Like it doesn't work with cross-functional team, but the base idea, if the base idea is to like welcome changes and provide updates, spiral model should also be capable of doing that, no, sir?
Yes, you're right, Vishnu. I will tell you the basic difference. Okay, so in spiral model, you will have the you will say it to be a spiral. Okay, but anyway, in the spiral model also, you will have to pass step by steps, right? So if you again want to go to the next step, okay, I mean you cannot go back. Instead, you have to cross through all the process and you should come back. Am I right? You understand what I mean? But
Yes,
here in Agile, there is no fixed rule. Okay, so since you have a cross-functional team, so everything is done all of a sudden. Okay, if you meet some changes to be done, immediately you will speak with the team. Okay, so this change can be adopted. Okay, the team member will vote. Okay, so they will say, okay, we will adopt. Done. That's all. But in spiral model, so you have to wait until it comes to the requirement, again the requirement phase. You got it? It may take some days to come.
yes, sir.
Is it
Got
clear?
it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but in Agile, so it will not take days to come together. Instead, in hours, you will take a decision whether to accommodate that change or not. Because all the people are in the same team, you will know whether this change can be adopted by a developer or maybe a tester. You will know. You will immediately give the task and immediately will get the feedback. But in spiral model, so the developers will develop something and they will send it for testing. Okay, so during the testing phase, maybe the tester will say, no, this change cannot be done. Okay, so like that it will happen. You have to wait for some time. But here, no waiting time. Immediately, if you find some requirement, you will immediately deploy it and you will give it a try. Okay, so that is the main advantage of moving towards Agile. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall we move on to the theory? Okay, so in this slides, as I told you, so the slides will have almost all the contents. Okay, so for each and every topic. So don't have a mindset that I'm just going to read through this, because the slides itself has been made in a very self-explanatory manner. Okay, so let us go step by step. Agile software development requires adaptive planning, evolutionary development, and delivery. So adaptive planning in the sense, so you should be always adaptive. If there is something, okay, so some changes, so you should have a people who can adapt to the changes. Okay, so that is what adaptive planning. So with respect to Zomato application, so even though Swiggy, Uber Eats, so many platforms are right now available, right? Even there are some local applications, so restaurant specific applications, we have so many. So you cannot say that, okay, I have made an application, I will stick to the application. So those who want to use can use. You cannot say that statement because you cannot sustain in the market. Okay, so you will try to add more functionalities. Okay, so there should be an adaptive planning. If someone is giving a functionality, immediately you will bring that functionality in a different name to your platform. Okay, so that's how the systems are getting evolved, right? So evolutionary development. So this is like a evolutionary. I have already mentioned you an example. Okay, so you are a kid. Okay, so you are a kid when you are going to school. Maybe in your fourth standard, your same Vishnu is Vishnu. Okay, but in a miniature style. So in 8th standard, so the same Vishnu has grown up. Okay, in 12th standard, the same Vishnu have developed like an adult. Okay, so he has entered into the teenage. The same Vishnu is now is going to be a professional. Okay, so only each and every organs or each and every parts, okay, of Vishnu is getting evolved. Okay, so that's how agile works. So it is also coming under an evolutionary development model. So you will build releases. You will come up with many releases. Okay, so where your core functionality will be there. Vishnu is always Vishnu, but the Vishnu which you saw during his fourth standard is completely different from the guy who is right now. Okay, so the right now Vishnu is the evolved person of the Vishnu which we have seen in the fourth standard. Okay, so this is the evolutionary development and delivery. So as I told you, so in agile, so we will focus only towards the delivery. So when is our next release? Okay, so that is what is our goal. So when is our next release? What are all the things that needs to be deployed in the next release? Okay, so blindly you can have this statement. So this is the motto. So all the peoples in your cross-functional team will have a mindset, when is the delivery, okay, or when is the next release. So what has to be done to get the product released on time. Okay, so there are some formulas where you will have an adjustment estimate. We will see to that. Okay, fine. So many software development methodologies, frameworks and practices fall under the umbrella of being agile. Okay, so here you can see some of the popular frameworks, okay, that follows agile. So Scrum and Kanban, I hope you all might have heard of these two things. Okay, so these are like project tracking as well as software development frameworks. Okay, so where you will have a keep track of all the things happening in and out of your project. Okay, so yeah, so I don't want to get deeper into that. If you want to know, you can just search through the internet. You will get a better idea about how these things works. Okay, so Scrum and Kanban, so they are different. Okay, so they will have only a similarity is that they will have a core functionality of agile. Okay, so but that's all. So they will have different strategies on how they are tracking the progress of a project and how the software development is occurring in each framework. Okay, so now coming to the definition. So I believe, so Agile Manifesto, I believe you all might have heard the word called Agile Manifesto. Anyway, we will see that in maybe in 2-3 slides after that, we will see the Agile Manifesto. Okay, so before seeing that, so definition, as per the definition, a software development methodology to build a software incrementally using short iterations of 1 to 4 weeks, so that the development process is aligned with the changing business needs. Okay, so as I have already mentioned you, so we should always have a mindset to accept change. Okay, so based on business need. So the example of a Zomato application. So if the Zomato said no for the changes, so probably it might be like a platform like Orkut. It might not be in the market now. Okay, so that is a main thing. So based on the business need, you should have shorter iterations. You cannot say, okay, so the next release I'm planning to do in 6 months. Right now you cannot say that statement at all, because this market is emerging very very fast, right? So all you can do is you can say 1 week or 2 weeks, not more than that. Correct? Because you will see after 6 months, if you have an iteration for 6 months, obviously you will be in trouble, because your competitor might have released several add-on features and you cannot survive in the market. Okay, and that is the reason most of your applications, okay, so in your Android phone or maybe in your Apple phone, you can see there will be always a periodical updates. It is not only the security updates, you will have some functionalities here or there, some optimized functionalities you will get. Okay, yes, so now coming back. So incrementally, so building a software incrementally. So already we have seen it is like an evolutionary process. So in each increment, you will have some one or the other functionalities added to your base application. Okay, so that is how it is getting evolved, and basically you will have a shorter iterations. Okay, so some of the roles in agile process are, so I believe you all might be knowing what is role, because you have already formed a team, a cross functional team. So even though we had several requests of having this member in the team, that member in the team, but anyhow I believe you all might have a stable team now. Okay, and you are aware of the roles which you are going to perform in a team, right? So let us see in detail. So what is the role of each guys in a team? So the primary role or the predominant role in the agile process is the scrum master. Okay, so he is like a team leader. Okay, so the scrum master is a person. So we will go with the definition. So Scrum Master is a team leader and a facilitator who helps the team members to follow agile practices so that they can meet their commitments. Okay, so simply he is a team leader and he know what has to be done. So he is the person who is going to instruct the team to follow the agile process. So one thing you all should remember, okay, so the scrum master is the guy who is going to follow the agile process and he needs to instruct to his team. Okay, so this is what the agile process is and this is what we have to follow. Is that clear? So maybe in the last semester, okay, so we planned the same thing in a role based role play based labs, but unfortunately the lockdown comes and it was completely vanished. Okay, so you should understand, okay, so the main process, the agile process in a team is going to be followed and to be instructed by the scrum master. Okay, so there is no necessity that all the developers or maybe the testers should understand the whole process. They should follow the whole process or they should adopt a new rule in the agile process. Okay, it is not so. The scrum master is the person who is responsible for following the agile process. Okay, so some of the responsibilities of a scrum masters include, so close cooperation between all roles and functions. Okay, so he is the person who is having the potential to decide upon the roles. Okay, and he is the person who is going to assign the functions to each role. So this role, okay, so this guy has to do this task. Okay, so once this task is done, this is the exact function which this particular role has to be done or has to be given. Okay, so all these things are taken care by the scrum master. So to remove any blocks, so this is one key property, because so we focus mainly on the release dates. So at the earliest we should go for the release. Okay, so for that he always ensures that there is no blocking time. So nobody in the team should wait for the other person to complete any task. Okay, so that is to remove any block, to shield the team from any disturbances. Okay, so for example, so since he is responsible for everything in the team, he should always safeguard the team from external disturbances. Like if there is a lockdown. Okay, so immediately the team should not have feel it like a vacation time. They cannot enjoy their time. Okay, because you have your strict release dates. Okay, so that should be ensured by the Scrum Master to work with the organization to track the process and procedure and the processes of the company. So as you can see here, so to work with the organization, this is the place which I told you already. Okay, so if you are planning for a startup, okay, so if a guy who is having the idea of moving towards a startup, so simply he is actually the Scrum Master. Okay, so that is for one specific application. But when you see it as a whole application and a whole organization, there may be several projects. Okay, so that particular person need to discuss with the organization, and he has to ensure that all the commitments of that particular project as well as the team commitments, everything should be in line with the requirements. Okay, to ensure that the agile inspect and adopt processes are leveraged properly, which includes yeah, so this is I will come to these bullets later after explaining this figure. Okay, so in this figure, so this is the comparison which I told you already. Okay, so as you can see here in waterfall model, so what exactly what you will do, so you will analyze the requirements and you will go for a planning, design, build, test, and then you deploy. Okay, so as you can see, this is the project timeline. So all these phases will go step by step till your deployment. Okay, whereas in agile, so what you will do, so you will make so since it's an evolutionary model, so you will make a working model. Okay, so by following all the steps, and then iteratively you will develop application. Okay, I believe this figure will give, it will make sense, right? So you will build a minimal working type or maybe a minimal working prototype. On top of it, you will start building. So all the phases will be followed in each points. Okay, so there are some keywords which we will see in the upcoming slides. Okay, so what are all the things that needs to be done in each iteration. Okay, so we have some slides where we will see to that. Okay, okay, so in any of these timeline, okay, so please make a note, in any of the place in these timeline, so you will accept any changes to the requirements. You will not say no, I will not accept any changes in the requirement. Okay, so whenever there is a change, you should admit it. Okay, at the same time, so if there is some technology innovation, okay, if the, for example, if there is an upgraded framework which can be deployed to our application, you should say yes. Okay, fine, we will adapt to that. You cannot say no, I have developed my application in for example in JavaScript, I cannot add any functionalities, I will stick on to this. You should know, you should never say those kinds of statement. If there is any evolution in the technology which can adapt to the changes, or which can, which is going to survive in the market, immediately you should have a mindset to move towards that. Okay, so these are all the some aspects in the agile. Now coming back, yes, yeah, now coming back, so to ensure that agile inspect and adopt processes are leveraged properly, which includes daily stand-ups. So which means that, okay, so you will have, as I told you, so changes may come at any time. Okay, if you say that way, so you will have an SRS document. Okay, I believe you might be knowing what is an SRS document. Okay, so in the SRS document, so every day if I make some changes to that document, so how will you inform all your team members? Okay, so will you say that, oh no, whether there is a change or not, everybody has to see the document whenever they start any process. Okay, so if I say that, so every day all the people has to go through some 200 pages, or even if you have some mechanism where they can see only the changes also, they need to anyway traverse through the 200 pages. Okay, so that is an hectic task. So how you are going to accept the change, as well as how you are going to say that there is a change in the requirement. Okay, so for that you have some structured process. Okay, so daily stand-ups. So anyway, we will see in detail about what is daily stand-up. So just, yeah, general brief I am just giving you. So daily stand-up is nothing but a meeting, okay, so which every day Scrum Master will conduct, okay, just a small meeting, an informal or a formal meeting, okay, so maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's a very short meeting where you will say, okay, so these are all the things I have done today, and these are all the things that I have not done today. Okay, so what are all the tasks you have accomplished, and what are all the tasks that are in pending with you? That you will every role will say it to the Scrum Master. Okay, so the daily stand-up meetings will be organized by the Scrum Master, and in that meeting you will say, oh, these are all the tasks which I have accomplished, and these are all the tasks which I have not done, maybe in a pending state. Okay, so during that phase, so since I told you it's like an informal meeting, so you will discuss. So maybe there is a provision where you can change, you can say that there is a change which we need to adopt in the upcoming release. Okay, immediately the developer will say, okay, no problem, I will see, I will check the document. Okay, so that is daily stand-ups and planned meetings. So this planned meetings is nothing but, so okay, so since you have worked for, you have accomplished some 10 tasks or 20 tasks, so why can't we have a review meetings? Okay, so every 3 days or 4 days once we will have a meeting. These are some planned meetings. So when coming to the meeting, you should come up with these many things. But daily stand-ups are not, as I told you, it's a kind of informal meeting where you will just say, okay, so these are all the things I have done, these are all the things I have not done. Okay, so there is no proof or evidence which you need to show it to them. And demo reviews, okay, and retrospective meetings. Okay, so all these things, especially, so all these things will be taken care and will be audited or maybe recorded by the Scrum Master. So which is a which is a role which has more privilege in this agile process. Okay, so now moving towards product owner. So who is a product owner? So in the waterfall, so probably, yeah, let me show you here. So in the waterfall, so after analysis phase, you don't have any person called product owner with you. Okay, so during your deployment, okay, you once you deploy, you will see, or maybe you will deliver it to the product owner or a customer or a consumer. Okay, and then you will get some idea about it. Okay, whereas in agile process, okay, so a product owner is the one who drives the product from business perspective. Okay, the responsibilities of a product owner are to define the requirements and prioritize their values. So whenever you want, for example, let us take the Zomato itself. Okay, so in the Zomato application, so there should be a one who will say, you see, there is a change that has been made in Uber Eats. Okay, they are accepting payments through Paytm. So we also need to bring that change to our application. Okay, so this is the guy who we call it to be a product owner. Okay, so the person who initiates or who brings in the changes which needs to be done by our cross-functional team. Okay, so that guy is actually the product owner. Okay, so to define the requirements and prioritize their values. So if you say, okay, I want the payment functionality for by PhonePe has to be added, so which needs to be given higher priority or utmost priority. Maybe so maybe you may be having a mindset of working with, okay, different parse figures which shows what to say, which shows like your delicious dishes. Okay, so maybe you can do it in the next release. So immediately we want this payment gateway to be integrated, do it first. Okay, so these priorities, the person who is doing these things, okay, or the person who is instructing or who is providing these requirements, that is a person who is called as product owner. To determine the release dates and contents, okay, to take an active role in iteration planning and release planning. So as I told you, so since I am telling, you know, this may be an organization, okay, it may be a boss or it may be a CEO. Okay, so that particular person, okay, he is saying that, okay, so this functionality needs to be done within 20 days. Okay, I want this particular functionality to be done in the next release. Okay, so all these things this particular fellow decides. Okay, so in line with his requirements, our Scrum Master will make the team and he will ensure that that will go in a flow. Okay, so that is how it will happen. Okay, so to ensure the team is working on the most valued requirements, this is what we have already discussed, to represents the voice of the customer. As I told you in the Zomato application itself, so there is a new change brought in the Uber Eats where the customers or the consumers are making use of PhonePe payment. So immediately, so based on the customers or the users perspective, you are bringing in the change to this system. Okay, so to accept the user stories that meet the definition of done and defined acceptance criteria. So as of now, you keep this point. Okay, so because we will see in detail about the user stories and the definition of done. So what is done? Okay, so we will see to that, and then acceptance criteria. So when we will say I can accept this or I cannot accept this. Okay, so all these things we will see in the upcoming slides. Okay, so the third role, that is the cross functional team. So as I have already mentioned, so cross functional team is nothing but so the team which you have formulated. Okay, but I'm not sure. Okay, so most of you didn't had that mindset of cross functional teams when you are organizing a team, but I think better you keep a stand. Okay, so if you are planning for a startup, if you want to start a business, so who are all the people you will consider to make a team? Okay, so a team where, for example, if Sahana is going for a startup, okay, like an IT company, so who will come first as a developer? So probably Vishnu or maybe Rakshit. Okay, so she will have, okay, so I can take these people as developer. Okay, and then maybe she will have a mindset, okay, so I need someone to test my application also, so whom I can consider to be a tester. Okay, so at that time, okay, she may think, okay, so some people like Prahalada or Shairam, so these kind of people I will take it as like a tester. Okay, so and then so she is just, okay, so these people are strong in these verticals, so I'm just blindly considering these people. Okay, so this is how a cross functional team is formed. Okay, so you will, okay, so once the team is formed based on the requirement, okay, so since I have only two developers, the process is getting delayed, so what need to be done? So immediately, so she will hire one more developer. Okay, so this is how the process evolves. Okay, so that, yeah, now coming back, so a self-sufficient team with 5 to 9 team members. Okay, so the figures which you see here are the recommended figures. Okay, so there is no rule that always you should go with these numbers or these numerals. Okay, so these are just prescribed or maybe recommended figures. Okay, so there is no restriction that always a cross functional team should have 5 to 9 members. No. Okay, but we have some rules. Okay, so there should be one scrum master. Okay, so there should be only one king for a kingdom. Okay, like that you have something, but the overall figures, the overall numerals are volatile. Okay, now coming to the point, so as I mentioned, so that is the original cross functional team. Okay, so average experience of 6 to 10 years, so that may not suits our case. Okay, as I told you, so this is a prescribed one, but in our case we cannot expect all the people to have experience because all are freshers. Okay, an agile team comprises of, so again, so this is a recommended value. Okay, so this is not a strict rule we should follow, but there is something like you see the scrum master, there should be only one product owner also. It is preferred to have only one product owner because your team will get volatile or maybe it will get diluted because he is the person who is going to drive the changes in your team. Okay, so based on the changes which this product owner fellow brings in, the scrum master will lead the entire team. Okay, fine. So in on your right, so you can see a figure where you can see there is an hierarchy. Okay, so a technical interface, and then you have a team interface. So here, so what happens was, so all the roles are here. Okay, so provided that all are connected with some point. Okay, so it is not like whatever this developer says that needs to be done through this fellow or that fellow. No. Okay, so all together they will work as a team. Okay, Okay, so how agile team plans? Okay, so we have time for this slide, right? So what is the time now? Yeah, yeah, I think we will complete this slide also. Okay, so how an agile team plans its work? So an agile team works in iterations to deliver user stories, where each iteration is of 10 to 15 days. So this is what we have already discussed. Okay, so we will concentrate mostly on iterations. Okay, so each iterations will deliver something. Okay, so that something is nothing but user stories. Okay, so we will see in detail about user stories. So as of now you have a stand. So in each iteration, okay, so you will deliver user stories. Okay, and each iteration may be for 10 to 15 days. So this is what I already told you. So we should always consider having a shorter iteration so that you can adapt to the upcoming changes or the requirements from the product owner. Okay, you cannot say I'm going to plan an iteration for 2 months or 3 months. Okay, so because when you say that, when you say there is a huge timeline, so obviously you cannot adopt the recent changes. Okay, so your application will be always outdated. Okay, so each user story is planned based on its backlog prioritization and size. Okay, so there is a concept called product backlog. Okay, so as the name specifies, it is just a log. Okay, so log in the sense, so it will record all the activities happening. Okay, so that's all. So as of now you take that stance. So there is a place called product backlog where you will have the activities recorded over there. Okay, fine. The team uses its capacity. Okay, so capacity, there is a definition for capacity also. Okay, so in the next slide you will have, we will see to that also. Okay, so how many hours are available with team to work on task, to decide how much scope they have to plan. So this is basically, you will say, with this team I will take some weeks, maybe 5 days or 10 days to complete this particular task. Okay, so we will see what is a task. So based on the user story, how you are going to formulate task, so that also we will see in the upcoming slides. Okay, so there is an important point which you should know, that is called as point. A point defines how much a team can commit. Okay, so a team will commit. Okay, so this is what I can do in this particular timings. Okay, a point usually refers to 8 hours. Each story is estimated in points. Okay, so for example, if you say, okay, a team will work on 20 points. Okay, so which means that 20 into 8 hours they will work. Okay, so this is how a point defines. Usually the value of point is, in general, it is recommended to have 8. Okay, so a point is nothing but, so which a team is going to commit, that's all. Fine. Are you following with me? Are you with me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So capacity, again, capacity is a keyword. Okay, so which I already told you. So capacity defines how much an individual can commit. So when it comes to the point, it is like the whole team. Okay, but when it comes to the capacity, it is about the individual. Okay, so how much hours an individual can contribute to towards your goal. Okay, so that is what is called as capacity. Okay, so with this note, shall we stop here? We can start user story from the next class. Is it fine, guys?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now as usual, so how was the session today?
Nice,
Yeah.
sir.
It was good, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
So after a
Question.
long time, yeah, I'm taking classes. Okay, fine. So I believe I have not bored you. Okay, so if you feel somewhere where I can stop for a while, please let me know. Okay. Okay, so that's all from my side today. So I will be staying here for 5 more minutes. Those who want to leave can leave. If you have any queries or concerns, please let me know.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Sir,
Vishnu.
yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
So, will we know about the roles of testers, sir? Like, is it coming in 2, 3 slides, or?
Yes, it will come. It will come.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Venkatesh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Yes, Sakit.
different kind of license.
Yeah, I will take a session, man. So we are actually working from campus.
Oh, okay.
So we have some work, some prioritized work. Okay. So I will make a session.